Want to release you like a balloon in the wind, and I want you to be happy, and I wish you all the booty holes in the world. I want you to be in a pool, swim in a sea of booty. I'm not even joking. I want you to go after what you want. You're just not going to do it with me. And the one thing that I know about men, that I try to teach other women about men, is that men are always going to do what the fuck they want to do. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care if they hurt themselves. They don't care if they can catch a disease. They don't care if they lose their job. Most men are going to always think with their peens, and they're going to go after what they want. So, hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are a longtime subscriber or a recent subscriber, thank you. Okay. I wanted to show you guys this clip, and then I'll come back with my commentary.
A straight man may never have a season, any other season.
I have a friend right now who is so interested in exploring new things sexually in their relationship, and they are terrified of sharing it with their wife. And the reason being is because, unfortunately, she's made comments of what she thinks a man should be.
Yes.
And he's internalized it, and those comments were flippant, and it's not what she thinks, because I've talked to her. That's not her point of view. But because he's heard it, he's afraid to go there. And I'm trying to get him to realize that he is terrified. And it is so interesting to see this man terrified, because I've never seen this man afraid in his life. But to tell his wife that he wants something new, he's afraid. The woman he sleeps with next to every night, that he has 2 kids with, he's afraid to tell her something new. And that scares me for straight men. It makes me sad for them too.
So I have a lot to say about this, okay? This is one of those things that makes me, and have always made me, be really iffy about getting into these relationships with men, because I understand that things change, right? I understand that. I understand people change, people evolve. And I'm one of those people that I just don't want to deal with it. And I'm not saying that I don't change and have not changed and grown and evolved. But a lot of things about me have honestly been the same for my whole life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I didn't grow in certain areas. It really has more to do with me being one of those very rare people, in my opinion, that has always known I've always known myself. I've always been very clear on what I wanted, what I didn't want. And a lot of that hasn't changed. There's a lot that has changed, but a lot of it hasn't. And I think it just boils down to my personality was set at a very young age, and I just kind of knew what I wanted. I don't know if it's the Scorpio in me, if some people believe in that, and I kind of do in a fun way. I don't know if it's been my experiences. I don't know what it is, but I've always been very clear about who I was and what I wanted. And a lot of those things have not wavered. And because of that, I allow people the room to change and grow. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that, right? I've never needed a man that badly, to the point where I'm willing to compromise who I am, what I want, what I don't want, what I believe, because he wants to come and change who he is, which he has every right to do. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. Stay with me, okay? Now, in regards to this clip, this is one of those things where I'm like, I just can't deal with people. I got to be very careful with how I'm saying this, because I don't want it to come across the wrong way. People have the right to change. People have the right to grow. But when it comes to something like your sexuality, I'm not willing to grow with you in that way if it comes down to you wanting to do things that I absolutely don't want to do, not interested in, and never will be. Okay? So I'll give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Okay? If my man came to me and said, you know, I got to ask you something. I've been thinking about something that's been on my mind for a while. I'm hoping this doesn't change anything in our relationship, but I really want to explore my sexuality, you know? And then I'll be like, you know, okay, like, what are you talking about? And let's just say, for the sake of conversation, because I have a lot to say about this topic, is he came to me and said, you know, I think I'm into butt play. Like, I think I want to start doing that. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I would end the relationship right then and there. And I know that sounds harsh, but I'm going to tell you why, okay? I am not interested in butt play. I have never been interested in it. I don't want anybody playing with mine. I'm not about to play with yours. I personally, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm not speaking about Rhonda, Tanisha, and Carrie. I'm literally speaking about myself, okay? I find it to be very degrading as a woman. I don't know how men feel about it. I don't know how other women feel. I don't care. It's degrading to me. I don't want to have anything to do with playing with human waste. I'm just using this as an example. Like, I don't want feces in my nails. I'm not sticking my tongue anywhere. I don't want your fingers anywhere near. I'm grossed out. Okay? That is something that once a man tells me, you won't be able to come back from that. And it's not in a shaming way. It's just in a way of, you know what? We're not as compatible as we thought we were. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you have the right to express your feelings to me. You have a right to express that you want to try things, in the bedroom or whatever. But I also have the right to say no. And the one thing that I know about men, that I try to teach other women about men, is that men are always going to do what the fuck they want to do. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care if they hurt themselves. They don't care if they catch a disease. They don't care if they lose their job. Most men are going to always think with their peens, and they're going to go after what they want. So me telling him no is not going to stop him from doing it. That man is going to still go find some other woman to do it, or a man, or whatever if he want his butt played with, he's going to go find somebody to do that shit. I said no, okay? But that's the number one reason why I would just end the relationship, because I already know it's going to go downhill from there. Unlike most women who would give in to that type of stuff, aka Jasmine Brown with Cam Newton. She was talking about how she was never into the A word, entering the back door, and until she got with him. And she was like, it hurt, she doesn't enjoy it, but there was just something about knowing that he's the only man that's been in there that makes me tolerate it.
I think anything goes for sure if you're comfortable with the person, because I'm doing shit I never did before. I'm just like, I would have never done this, but you know what, I'm comfortable with this person and I feel safe.
Do you have an example?
Anal. You're like, have an example? Yeah, that.
Do you do it for you or do you do it for them?
I do it for him, because for me, I'm not at a place where I like it yet. We had one successful time where I was like, okay, my butt creamed. It was like, oh shit, like it was like creaming. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know the science of that in particular, because your butt doesn't lubricate in that way. You could shit on the person.
So it was booty juice. It wasn't though.
It was clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fast. I'll have to get back to you on that. But then does anal become an act of submission because you're letting your partner do something to you that doesn't necessarily feel good for you, but you know that it feels good and maybe powerful for them?
I think it feels more powerful for them than it feels good, because you're getting nowhere. It hurts. It's like, okay, like if he wants to,
but he can still orgasm from it.
I think it's just the butt is just so tight and so untouched, and I think it's the fact that nobody's been in there but him is like the power of that. Like, that's my asshole. Like, ain't nobody been in that shit but me. That shit's mine.
Do you get pleasure because you're giving him an experience?
No, I actually like a finger in the butt.
No, from like anal in particular.
Oh,
like what's the incentive for you to do it if you're like, it's not my favorite thing, but I do it because X?
I think I just do it because he wants it. And I think like when you come to me in a space where it's like you're very masculine and it's just like, give me that ass, or however you say it to me, and you're like, ooh, like I like that shit. Like, tell me what the fuck to do. Tell me what to do. I like to be told what to do. You know,
even if the thing that they want you to do,
I don't want to do it. Yeah, that's traumatic too. I don't know, but like, because it's him, I trust him.
I guess because we have all these like, and I hear when you're talking to, like, you're listening to how it sounds, then reflecting on how it feels for you.
Yeah,
because the feeling might be, that's my truth.
Yeah,
it might sound a certain way, but also too, we're talking about your relationship in a very specific, narrow lens. Mm-hmm. We're not talking to him, one, and two, we're not talking about the full breadth.
That's what most of y'all would do. I'm not trying to be funny. That's most women. When men, typically it's the man. Every now and then it's a woman. But most of the time, it is a man that comes to the woman and say, hey, I want to open our relationship. Hey, I want us to see other people. I want us to be swingers. Hey, I want to have a threesome. Right? And the women with low self-esteem and also with the belief that they have to keep their man happy and do what he wants, they give into it even when they don't want to. And I'm specifically talking about the women who don't want to. There are plenty of women out there who are bi. They're into other women. They love it. There's been women who have taken the idea to their man, right? But I'm talking about the average woman. The vast majority of women don't want to share their man with another woman, but they acquiesce because they think that that's their role of a wife.
I'm supposed to be supportive. I want him to feel like he can tell me anything. I want him to feel like he can be comfortable coming to me. So, I wasn't okay with it at first, but I decided to just go ahead and give it a try.
I'm not that chick. Never been that chick, never will be. Because I'm compromising my integrity. Because I feel like it's degrading. I'm not saying it's degrading for you or any other people. I'm saying for me it is. So if I think it's degrading and then I turn around and do it, I'm compromising my own integrity. Okay? In my mind, no man is that important for me to keep him around, to be doing stuff like, and I'm just using that one example because there's a million other examples I can use. When it comes to certain stuff, I'm not down with it. I don't even trust men enough to do certain things in general anyways, because I know men be cheating. I know men lie. And, I don't know what my man is doing when I'm not around. I have no idea. But in order to protect myself, there's just certain things I'm not going to do. If he and I were married, I would still be protecting myself the same way I am now. And we're just in a relationship. But that's just the way I look at it. I worked in healthcare for a long time. And I said this in many other videos before. The highest rates of these new STDs, including the big H, are married women. Married women and women in long-term relationships where they think that their husband is or their boyfriend is monogamous. Okay? I know the real deal. I don't love a man that much. I'm never going to love a man more than I love myself. I don't love you enough to compromise what I consider to be my integrity. And because I know male nature and I know human nature, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to come to me all vulnerable and all that, whatever. I'm going to say no. And he's going to go do it anyway, aka cheating on me and putting my health at risk. Because, and I'm also going to question your sexuality at that point too. I'm just being honest. It's not in a shaming way. I'm just going to question, is he even really truly into women all the way? So he's going to go behind my back and do what he wants, or he's going to spend the rest of our relationship fighting that demon. And I don't want to be with you if you're fighting a demon to go S another man's D. Like, if that's what you want to do, I literally want you to be happy. I want to release you like a balloon in the wind, and I want you to be happy, and I wish you all the booty holes in the world. I want you to be in a pool, swim in a sea of booty. I'm not even joking. I want you to go after what you want. You're just not going to do it with me. I will love you and respect you enough to let you go. Okay? I am not doing these things for no man. It's not worth it. Like, this is why I always say, I would just rather be single in a situation like that, because I don't got time for that. I thought I wanted to be a dad, but no, I'm going to run off with some young girl and go live my best life. Oh, I thought I was straight. No, actually, I'm rainbow. Like, I don't want to deal with this stuff. So if my man came to me and asked me any of those things, I would love him and I would respect him for coming to me, because most men will lie. Most men are going to hide it. And I already know a lot of guys and some women may get in the comment sections and say, well, that's the reason why men lie. That's the reason why men don't tell women the truth. No, you're lying because you're a coward. Men lie because they're cowards. They lie because they're losers. They lie because they're pathetic. You want to be able to steal that woman's choice. You don't want to give her the choice because you're afraid of being rejected. That's why you're lying. The craziest part about it is that there's a whole lot of Jasmine Browns in the world. The world is, I think there's more women like Jasmine Brown than there are women like me. As a matter of fact, I know that for a fact. Like, I'm willing to put my life on it. Jasmine Browns, and I'm not saying this to degrade her. I'm just saying, like, she's the face of the average woman in the world, right? These men claim they want a Jasmine Brown or a Pearly Things or whatever, but when it comes down to it, they don't actually really want these women. Look at what Cam Newton is doing to Jazzy. You compromise your integrity and let that man enter your rear end. He's hurting you. You don't enjoy it, but you're doing it for his pleasure. And the craziest part about it is, and this is just alleged, and this is just my own personal opinion, he's gonna come out as rainbow in the future. If people don't already think he is, I kind of already think he is. I don't even think he likes women. I know for a fact he does not love Jazzy. I know for a fact he's never loved her, and he's never going to. I know this for a fact. I don't care. Y'all can be like, you don't know these people. I don't have to know you personally to recognize patterns. Women, just like YB Edit talked about in our podcast last week, women only survived this long because they have pattern recognition. You have to be able to recognize patterns to know to keep yourself safe in situations. I already know what kind of man Cam Newton is. I don't care what nobody say. Based on how childish he is, based on the way he dressed, based on the way he treat women, there's all these things that goes, like, I met so many men like him in my life. Oh my God, y'all have no idea, right? He doesn't like women. I think he's sexually repressed, which means he probably really just wants to be with a man. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure a lot of these men are dipping and dabbing behind closed doors anyways. It's only going to be a matter of time before somebody outs them, like some trans woman or just a regular out there gay dude or a DL dude. He's going to be exposed sooner or later. And meanwhile, she compromised her so-called morals and integrity and changed some things, thinking that that's what she was supposed to do. Okay? I honestly think Jasmine Brown probably thought she knew herself, and then she got pressured by a man with money because she was put in a position where, wow, a man with money is looking at me? Oh my God. And all of a sudden, everything that she allegedly stood for just went right out the window. And now she has to do all these things and do all this I love to serve, I love to submit shit.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And when I talk to my girlfriends about it, they're always like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
In order to gain whatever it is she's trying to gain. Now, initially, before she got pregnant, I was like, maybe she's finessing him. It sounds like she's a little textbook when it comes to the pick-me stuff, a little bit too much. Maybe she's finessing him. But when she had that baby, I was like, she ain't finessing him. She's a bird. She's literally a bird. And I'm not saying that to be mean. She's not smart. I'm sorry. You're with a man who flat out told you he don't like giving you stuff. You don't like asking for things or you don't want to ask for things more than once because literally he said no. So that means, why else would you say that? He's not even giving you anything. You're the one serving. You're the servant. You're the slave. And you're not even married. Not that I think being married matters, because this man is never going to marry Jazzy, by the way. I can bet my life on it. And I can also bet my life on that even if he does, he's going to be cheating on her the whole time. And she's most likely going to find out that he's cheating on her with men once he gets tired of running through women. Because that's another telltale sign of men on the down low. Men who run through women like water. They're just always looking for something. The reason why you're not finding the women that you want is because your soulmate is a man. That's literally what it is. There's no other explanation. Men who treat women horribly, who don't respect them, and who just use them, I promise you, they don't like women. Think about that for a second. Or something else. If you really love something and care for something, you're not going to mistreat it. Think about that. That's what I meant to say, right? You're not going to want to harm something that you care about. The reason why you can is because you don't care about it. And yes, it is that black and white. That is literally that black and white. And I'm just using her as an example because she represents the vast majority of women. They're willing to compromise and sacrifice who they are, give up who they are and all of that. Now she's sitting up here complaining about postpartum depression. And if you're going through postpartum depression, in my personal opinion, even as a woman who has never been, I've been pregnant before, but I've never birthed a baby. Postpartum depression is a combination of hormones. Literally, they've been all over the place during your pregnancy, and then they just crash when you give birth. You're going through all these body changes. You're doing all these things, and it's a combination of your physical being, and it's also mental. And any woman that's going through postpartum depression that's actually with a man who loves and supports her, the mental will be a whole lot lessened, if that makes sense. The physical is going to be what it is. Like, you can't do anything about the crashing hormones and things of that nature. But the mental part, you're going through that because you most likely don't have a supportive partner. And it just is what it is. And you're damn sure not supposed to feel like I'm looking for somebody to look out for me, like she said in her interview.
It's funny that you said that you didn't check on your man, because for me, it's like, I do so much. I was looking for somebody to check on me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a word.
I said, because I'm going to say it like this. Postpartum is not talked about enough, and we don't support each other enough in that. And it is hard. It is hard, and it is dark. It is very dark. And you know, it's dark. So sometimes, just because I might look nice and pretty on the outside doesn't mean that I don't have internal damage going on the inside. Because I woke up, I cooked for everybody, I fed everybody, and I realized it's 4 o'clock, I didn't eat a thing. And nobody even asked me if I ate a thing. Baby on the titty all day, she good, she chunky and fed, and here I am, starving, malnourished, losing my ass.
Why do you feel that way with a whole man at home? It's because he doesn't care about her. It's so simple. And before anybody get in the comment section and say, you're not in those people's house, you don't know what they are. I'm psychic when it comes to this stuff. That woman is sticking around for as long as she can until there is no hope. That is what I know. Because she's humiliated. This man gets in every interview and talks about himself, number one. Like, I think he got a podcast just to talk about himself. I'm not even joking. And then whenever she comes up in the conversation, he finds every way to embarrass her.
Now, you are not finna tell me you up here fucking one person. It's not finna happen.
No. See, you're trying to deflect back to me.
No, I would never do you like that.
But
I got respect for you.
No, here.
But you didn't answer that for a reason.
No. Understand this.
You didn't answer for a reason.
I'm going to answer mine, and then I want you to answer mine too.
I will answer it, brother, and I promise you I won't bullshit with you.
Okay. How long you talking about?
What you mean?
Fucking one person.
What do you mean, how long I'm talking about?
As long as I've been with Jazz has not been the only person that I've had sex with.
Every way, if he cared about her, he would not say those things. He would be very careful to make sure he doesn't make her look like a dummy. But he doesn't even care that he's making her look like a dummy. And he hasn't learned from any of his interviews. He's not changing or evolving. He's getting worse with each interview where he talks about her. This man doesn't care about Jazzy. And if you are a woman and you're in this position, your man doesn't care about you, doesn't love you. As a matter of fact, I think he probably hates her. I think he got with her because she's pretty, because she's very pretty. She's very pretty. And I think he, and a classic man, wants to humble and bring you down a peg. That's exactly what he did to her. He wanted to bring her stock down. And that's exactly what he did. Unfortunately, as a woman, I'm sorry to say that, but he brought her stock down. In the mind of men. So the next man she gets with most likely is going to treat her the same way. It just is what it is. When, not if, when this relationship ends, when he either leaves her or she finally gains enough self-esteem to leave, Hopefully she's making her exit plan. Hopefully she's saving money and she's doing what she got to do. This relationship is not going to last. He doesn't even really claim her for real. Like, my lady, my partner, or whatever he be saying. What? When you look at Jasmine Brown, that is what you get when you compromise for a man. That is what you get when you let go of your standards and your morals and you give in to his sexual desires and all that shit that you don't even want to do. You're going to feel I'm sure she feels dumb now. She's going to feel even more dumb when this relationship ends. The reason why I think she's staying this long is because she really believes, because he probably would be running game on her. And she really believes that if she sticks it out and show that she's worthy and all that he's going to eventually give in and marry her. That's really what I believe. Until she realizes, it's going to take him bringing home a woman and having a woman in her bed, or his bed, sorry. And it's going to take for him to just keep doing really egregious things for her to leave. And to be honest with you, I honestly think that Cam Newton wants Jazzy to break up with him. Like, she won't leave. It's so obvious. I knew this a couple years ago. He's doing this because he doesn't want to break up with her. He's using her for her labor, which is what most men do to women. They'll use you for your free labor for sure. But really, they just want you to go away. She's like a nuisance to him. She's a gnat that keeps flying around his head that just won't go away. No matter how much he swatted away, it just keeps coming back. She's a gnat. That's what she is to him. And I hate that she doesn't realize that. But that's the thing. That's why I would never compromise with a man when it comes to sexual stuff. Dressing up and role playing. That's fine. That's kind of fun. That's kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? There's certain little stuff like that I would do. But if you're talking about the butt play and you want to be pegged and you want to do all these other things and you want me to whip you with chains and beat you and put webs on you, and I'm not doing none of that. And the very fact that you would want those things, I know we're not compatible. I'm going to automatically know we're not compatible. I'm not into that. Because in my opinion, men who want that in general are psychologically damaged. Once I know you're psychologically damaged, I just don't have any attraction to you anymore. So that's what I have to say about this topic. Look, ladies, do not compromise yourself. The marriage and the relationship is going to end one day anyways. So if you're doing it for that reason, you're going to play yourself. Everything comes to an end. I say all the time, every man, every woman, everything on the planet, every job, every career, every car, every house, everything has an expiration date. Every marriage has an expiration date. It's going to end one day. It's always a matter of when and not if. So if it's going to end, there's no point in compromising yourself in the process, because you're just going to feel dumb. You're just going to lower your own self-esteem by doing that. Stay true to who you are. There's plenty of women out there that will give these men what they want. You don't have to be that woman, because it ain't going to keep them. It's not. I know this already. I'm just trying to pass my wisdom down on to other women, because I know it. You can't love a man enough to make him love you. You can't support him enough to make him love you. That's got to come from within him. He has to feel that way. There's nothing you can do to make a man loyal to you, faithful to you, appreciate you, or nothing. That has to come from within inside that man. And most of the time, they're just going to go find somebody else. And they're going to do it behind your back, or they're going to do it in your face. Eventually, Cam is going to start blatantly disrespecting her if he isn't already. And when I say blatant, I'm talking about she come home from going to get groceries to get ready to cook dinner, and he got some strange woman laid up in his bed. It's something blatant and disrespectful like that. Don't get me wrong. It's probably possible he's already doing that. But when she realizes there's no hope for her and there's no hope for that relationship, that's when she's going to leave. But the relationship is going to break down. It's going to end anyways. Save yourselves the drama and the embarrassment. Just end it. When a man comes at you with some shit that you don't believe in and you don't want to do not give in. It's never going to be enough. Every time you give a man everything he wants, suddenly it ain't everything anymore. It's never going to be enough. They're going to keep pushing the goalposts. That's it. They're going to keep moving it. Every time. You can reach the top of Mount Everest and they'll add another hill the exact same size as Mount Everest on top of that. That's what they do. And then they're going to project it on you and say it's your fault and you should have chose better somehow. Literally. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I have more to say, but I don't want this video to be too long. It's going to be longer than usual. But hit subscribe if you have not. Like, share, comment. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. Oh, go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red and he won't care if you're dead.